President Trump is reportedly considering joining Israel's strikes on Iran. Earlier this hour, the president said he may do it, he may not do it. And then he doubled down on what he is calling an unconditional surrender. The Israeli ambassador joined the to the United States, joined the takeout last night to discuss Israel's ongoing operation. Listen.
For us, this is an existential issue. It's to be or not to be, and we've chosen to be. So we're going to do everything we can to eliminate the threat to our survival. A nuclear bomb in the hands of the Iranian mullahs is a threat to our survival.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is tracking the latest from the White House and joins me now. All right, Natalie, the president is sharpening his commentary towards Iran. There have been reports in the New York Times and others that the president's repeated viewings of Fox News sort of convinced him to take this much harder approach, sort of co-signing onto the idea that the United States is now assisting Israel in its operations. What are you hearing?
Well, CBS News has reported, according to sources, that the president is potentially considering joining Israel offensively. So far, as we've been talking about, the U.S. has been in a defensive posture, helping Israel defend itself, but not taking direct military action, assisting in strikes. But now that potentially is under consideration. It's something that the president and his closest advisors are weighing. It was, the subject of a Situation Room meeting yesterday. Now, the president asked on the North Lawn during an event to raise a new flagpole here at the White House, was asked, have you decided whether or not that the U.S. will assist in striking Iranian nuclear targets? And he essentially said, I'm not going to tell you. I may or may not. Of course, this is not something that he would publicly reveal to reporters. But then those reporters really pressed him on what he means by unconditional surrender. That's the social media post that we saw. It's something he talked about again in those comments on the North Lawn. And he said, very simple. It means I've had it. I give up no more. And then alluded to Iran needing to give up all of its nuclear stuff. He said that, that's been his message. And he's convinced now more than ever that they cannot get a nuclear weapon. The president in those comments also alluding to next week being a big week or perhaps less than a week, signaling maybe he knows more about the timeline of Israel's offensive actions. But again, very unclear and uncertain still what the White House does next. We do have some new reporting that I want to share from Margaret Brennan and Claire Day in our London bureau. According to their sources, Israel did not request that the U.S. join its effort in Iran militarily. They say they leave the choice to the president. Israel feeling like it has plans and could proceed alone if needed.
That is very interesting, Natalie. The other sort of news from that moment at that flagpole was the president suggesting that he had a call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Has that been on a readout, or are you guys aware that that call took place last night?
I will have to be asking the press team about that call. There so far is not information about that, but the president has alluded to Russia potentially helping to mediate the end of this conflict and, of course, Russia's war on Ukraine. But, you alluded to earlier, there were a lot of different headlines out of this brief question and answer session with the president, everything from Iran, which, of course, is top of mind here at the White House, to some of the immigration actions and a lot of other happenings as well.
All right, Natalie Brand for us at the White House. Natalie, we thank you.